In our people's history, men were treated as more valuable than women. Women were treated as the lesser and weaker sex. And this was due to the genetic makeup, of course, the body build, and just the societal view on men of the time. Women were told to stay unheard, unseen, don't speak unless spoken to. They were pretty much just to go home, raise the children that they gave their husbands, take care of the cooking, the cleaning, and all the housework, and make their men as comfortable as possible. We live in a society today where that stigma has been broken and men and women are treated equally. This also means that women can go on to pursue a higher education and live the life that they want to live. And actually, at UFIS, more than half of the student body is women. Women have been going to college more in the recent years, and studies have proven this. Malala Yousafzai is one of the most courageous women of our times, and she's fighting for the simple right that we all possess here, and that's the right to education. Some of her backstory: Malala Yousafzai is a well-known activist in the pursuit of education for women. Her story starts in the town of Swat Valley, and in 2007 there was the Battle of Swat, and this was basically a battle for control of the territory, and this was fought by the Pakistans, where Swat Valley is located, is in Pakistan, and the Taliban. The Taliban won the battle and they took control. As soon as they took control, they implemented very strict regulations, rules, laws, and anybody who disobeyed would be publicly humiliated, shamed, hung, death, punishment, all in front of the public. And one of the rules was women cannot go to school, girls cannot go to school, does not matter the age. So Malala was born to a family that put a very high value on education. Her father was a school board member, and he was determined to give his daughter every right that his son would have, and that included education. Malala wanted to go to college and become a doctor from a very young age, and she made it very clear that nothing would stop her, didn't matter the difficulty. She unknowingly risked her life in Swat Valley, and at the young age of 11, she became a symbol of defiance against the Taliban. She spoke very publicly often, letting the Taliban know that she did not fear them. She would continue her education, and because she did this publicly, it put a very, very big target on her head. In a way, she was more at risk of danger by the Taliban. One day, she was coming home from school, from a normal school day on a school bus, and a Taliban soldier had boarded the bus and asked where was Malala. Up here had told them where Malala was seating, and the Taliban soldiers shot both Malala and the peer. Malala was shot in the neck and head and immediately taken to a military hospital where they controlled her wounds and then flown to the UK where doctors had more experience and more useful tools to heal her. She was placed in a coma, but she would make a full recovery eventually. She continued to fight for the right of education, but internationally, not just in her town anymore. She continued her education in the UK at Oxford and studied philosophy, politics, and economics. Her and her father began a charity that is still in place today, and this charity helps girls who are affected by war, poverty, and gender discrimination. Her charity has raised $13 million for this cause and is helping many, many women attend school and become their best possible selves in a way. Malala saw firsthand the chaos and the horror of the Taliban in her own home. She has fought hard to make her voice heard, and she speaks for the voiceless. She has helped fight a basic right that we all take for granted way too often, and that's the right to attend school and college and gain a basic education, just like men. I tell my story not because it is unique, but because it's the story of many girls. And this quote by Malala reminds us that we should not take education for granted. Too many people live their lives without this basic human right of education and knowledge. And for that reason, Malala is a true hero in my book and many books around. She's a true hero of our times and continues to fight for the beneficial education of women all over the globe.